Hello, Khaja Ghaffar. Am I audible? Hello. Uh, we'll be discussing all these things. So without any delay, let's get started with these things. I'll just share my screen. Could you just confirm whether my screen is visible or not? Yeah, Pinto, is my screen visible? Hello. Hemlata, could you just confirm whether my screen is visible or not? Guys, just don't worry. This would be an interactive session. So,
Sir, I face some network issues, sir.
okay, no issue. I was just waiting for you. Actually, I was asking for the confirmation whether my screen was visible or not. So whenever you're just facing such an issues, you just ping me out, either in Telegram or either when you're just facing, just text me out.
Yes, sure, sir.
Yeah. So actually, I would like to know, what do you know regarding Python? Pinto?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just let the session be an interactive one. Don't hesitate at all. So whenever, let's make this an interactive. You just, whenever you ask many doubts, I'll get to know what things you are clear with and what I should give the mentorship to you.
Sir.
So, yeah. So what do you think Python is actually?
Sir, Python is also all of that means कि sir, can I talk to Hindi, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Can I explain it, sir, in Hindi?
Yeah, sure. Yes, you can. Like, the Python contains most of the libraries that we are going to use in further sessions for the future, like data science, machine learning, and all sort of things. Even in the backend development, we use the Python programming for in the web parts also. It also has the SQL, and it majorly covers all sort of things that a computer science engineer or a software engineer must have. So without any delay, let's just get started with Python programming and its components.
Yes, sir.
So firstly, let's discuss regarding the comments and variables in Python. First of all, let's discuss what a program actually is. A program is a sequence of instructions that we specify on how to perform a computation. This is the general definition that a program has. To be more precise, like whenever we write a program to add two numbers, multiply two numbers, like that. So in that case, the sequence of lines or the sequence of instructions that we interpret, is called as a program. In each program, we have the input, output, math, conditional execution, and repetition. Input is something that gets the data from the keyboard. Output is something that is displayed on the data on the screen. Math is the mathematical operations, like I have mentioned, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and all sort of things. And conditional execution comes under the if, else, and loops. All those things comes under the conditional executions and repetitions. Debugging.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So debugging is something that is a process of tracking the bugs and correcting them. Actually, whenever we write any programming language, we get errors, right? Like instead of adding plus or minus, we just add multiply, divide. Those are something called as bugs. Or whenever we just miss some semicolons or colons in the program using the if else conditions. In that cases, we get bugs. And the process of clearing those bugs is called as debugging. And as I have mentioned, errors are of three types: syntax errors, runtime errors, and semantic errors. Syntax errors are like whenever we interpret a code or we write a code, the errors formed when by the user. Okay, those are the syntax errors. And the runtime errors, such as divided by 10, which cannot be interpreted by the compiler, which cannot get the output, comes under the runtime. And semantic errors are those valid code compiler understands but cannot give the output to us. Those are called as the semantic errors. So coming to the Pythons, comments. Comment is something that is used in any program so that the reader or the person who go through the program can understand the code easily. So these can be of three types, or these can be used in three ways. So Amritanjal Pandey, sir, could you just turn off your
Yes,
mic?
sir. Yes, sir.
Could you just turn off your mic? It's echoing a bit. Just turn off your mic. That's it. So like in Python, comments can be used in three ways. First is at the start, like whenever we start a program, or at the end, it comes in the start of the instruction. Second, once our code has been completed, like we want to print the value of x, we have initialized the value of x to be 10, and then we have print the statement as print x equal to 10. And then after that, after the instruction or the code that we are going to use, after that, at the end of the line, we can use, or we also have the multiple comments. Talking about variables. Variables are the fundamental things that stores the values. So I'm so sorry, could you just turn off your mic?
My mic is a turn off.
No, not you, Pinto. Yeah, it's fine now, it's fine. So variables are the fundamental things that stores the values. Like as you can see in this case, as you can see over here, we have initialized the value to be n to be 17. So this 17 is a variable that stores the in the value n. And when we would like to print the value of n, we'll be getting the output as 17 in the compiler. And this is the constant variable which cannot be changed. Like as you know, you have been learning from me just saying that pi value is 3.1415. And variables can also be of string types, which can not only store the float or float or integers, it can also store the strings. Like this is a text WhatsApp doc. Variables are case sensitive. Like at the start, we cannot use any number. We would be getting the invalid syntax. And coming to variable can be declared as many times with the same name, but the nearest variable would be taking taking from the compiler and would be interpreting the answer to us. Like as you can see over here, we will be getting the syntax error because the dollar symbol has been used, which should not be used. and it can contain both numbers and letters, but they have to begin with a letter. This is the most important part. Both the numbers and letters can be used, but they have to begin with a letter. And most preferably, the meaningful names are preferred, because whenever not only you, a piece of code can also be read by many other people. Like if at all you are into freelancing, or if at all you are into open source, then your code will be read by many people, and it should be understandable by those people also. So it is mostly preferred to write in meaningful manner. So let's just get 1 second. So now I'll be just explaining you regarding the live part, live demo. I'll be giving you the live examples on how to use code comments. So till this, do you have any doubt?
No, sir.
What about you, sir?
Yes, sir. Can you tell me again?
Not you, Pinto. Amritanjal Pandey. Do you have any doubt? So I think sir doesn't have any doubt. So I'll be assuming that he is clear with the topics, and let's go with the next part. So Pinto, actually, do you know how to install the VS Code?
Yes, sir.
Do you know?
Yes, sir. I know.
Okay, that's very great. So is my screen visible?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Yeah. Yeah, great. So as I have mentioned, we have 3 types. One at the start of the line, like hashtag. We'll welcome you to Coding Chakra. So this is a type where it should be used at the start of the line, okay? And then we'll be printing hello. So what do you think the compiler, the output would be?
Compiler will ignore, sir. Has in only, sir. Compiler will print hello, sir. Has will not include.
Perfect. That's what I expected from you. As you have mentioned, we have just got the output as hello. That's because comments are just for reading part. That is used for the people who reads the code again or any at the later part, they should understand. And the other thing was at the end of the line, like hashtag, end of the line. So even this would be ignored, and the compiler would again print the same as hello. See here, 1 second. The compiler have printed out the statement as hello because we have used the hashtag. And coming to Python, it also provides the multi-line comments. For multi-line comments, we can use single quotes or double quotes 3 times at one side. Like this is 3 times and this is 3. And we have to write the code in between. This is inside the multi-line comment. So as you can see over here, we have got the output as the same hello. Okay, for your understanding, let's just change this. Hello, Pinto.
I think, sir, single quote or double quote, both are working same now.
Yes, both works the same. Like let's take an example for the single quote. Yeah, this is the single quote. So this is inside the single quote. As you can see over here, we have got the output as hello Pinto, which we have initialized the value over here, and all these things are ignored. This is because these are the comments for the readable part. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So just keep in mind that compiler has the multi-line comments which are accepted both in single line and in multi-line. and it can be used at the end of the statement using the hashtag, and at the start of the statement using hashtag. And now let's just look regarding the variables. So actually first let's initialize the value of x to be x equal to 10 and y equal to 20. So these are the variables that actually store the value inside x. Like whenever you would like to get the value of x or get the value 10, you need to print the value as print x. So you will be getting the value as 10. Same as this variable print y. Once again, let's clear out so that you could just see this a bit better. So we have got the output as 10 and 20, which means firstly, when we have initialized the value 10 as x, the address and both the value has been stored to x. And whenever we print or call the x, the address and both the value would be coming over here, and the output gets displays the compiler displays the value to be 10. As mentioned earlier, Python also has the strings like z equal to coding chakra. Z. See, we have got the output as coding chakra. This is an example where the variable is printing the strings. And also you have types like you can initialize or you can cast. Casting is when if you want to specify the data type of a variable, this can be done by casting. Like example, you have initialized the value as string x. Okay, then now let's just print this, print x. Sorry, print 10. So we would be getting the value to be 10. And when we just ask the type of x, we would be getting as string. This is because we have casted the value. We have taken the values of 10 as a string, and all these things has been stored over here in this. So this has been casted to the string. Okay, just a second. So also not only in strings, you can also initialize its value or just cast its value to be float. And whenever you cast its value or change its data type, you will be getting the output as 10.0. This is because float gives the output in the form of decimals. So that's it for the variables part. Do you have any doubt over here? Both of you, if you have any doubt, you may go on.
No, sir.
What about you, sir? Do you have any doubts? So if you're clear with this, we can go with the operators in Python. So shall we move on?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. No problem.
Yeah, sure. I'll just share my screen. And hope you are understanding the things. If at all you have any doubt, you may ask me then and there. So let's start with the operators in Python. Operators are in general used to perform operations on values and variables. This is the definition. The operators are or has the standard symbols used to perform logical arithmetic operations. So in this session, we'll be looking into the different types of Python operators. First of all, let's discuss regarding the arithmetic operator. Arithmetic operators are used to perform mathematical operations like over here addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. This is called as modulo division. This is floor division, and this is exponential. Don't just confuse with exponential. Exponential is nothing but the power, like 5 to the power 2. Okay. So the addition operator just adds two operands or unary plus, like 5 plus 2 gives the value as 7. And the subtraction operator subtracts the right operand from the left, like 5 minus 2 gives the value as 3. Multiplication operator multiplies the operands. Division as same as multiply, same as the subtract. It divides the left operand by the right one, like 5 by 2. And one more thing, just keep in mind that always the value of division gives us the value in float. Like if at all you divide 10 by 2, we'll not be get the value as 5. We get the value as 5.0. And modulo division is nothing but the remainder of the division. Floor division gives the value in a whole number, that's in an integer. Exponential, as I mentioned, it gives the value in power form. Comparison operator. Comparison operator compares the value from the left value to the right value. Like this is the greater than. Returns true if the the left operand is greater than right. Like if x is greater than y, then it would give the output as true. And if x is smaller than y, it would give the output as true, else false. This is called as the equal to. Checks if both the operands are equal, and if at all they are equal, it returns true. And this is used to check for the not equal to, and this operand is called as greater than or equal to. These two operators have combined the greater than and equal to operators, which would result in greater than or equal to and less than or equal to. Logical operators. Logical operators are nothing but the and, or, and not operators. And operators returns true if and only if both the values are true, like x is true and also y is true. Whereas the or operator, even if one value is true, we'll be getting the total output as true, because like x is true and y is false, we'll get the output as true. And x is false and y is true, we'll get the output as true. And if at all both are false, then definitely we'll get the false. Not operator. Not is nothing but the converse. Like if x is true and not x becomes false, and if x is false, then not x becomes true. Assignment operator. Assignment operator just assigns the value, like which we have done in variables. The variable value has been assigned to a variable. The assigning is done using the assignment operator, like equal to, less than or equal to is same as x, equal to x plus 5, which can also be written as plus equal to 5. And same multiplication, division, modulo, floor, exponential, and. This symbol is called as AND, which we have read in the previous slide. This is the AND operator symbol, and this is the OR operator. And coming to NOT operator, this is the symbol for the NOT operator. With this, equation is pronounced as X not Y. And coming to this symbol is denoted as far greater, which means X is far greater than or equal to 5. Or this is far less than or equal to 5. Coming to the operator precedence. This is the most important thing that you have to go through. Like if at all you get an expression like this, okay, 4 plus in brackets 3 into 5. What do you think you have to do first? Like multiply these two first or add this first? Pinto?
Yes, sir. Firstly,
What would you do?
multiply,
Would you
sir.
multiply the values over there inside this first, or the total one?
No, sir. First multiply, then add.
Yeah, that's correct. That's because the precedence of parenthesis has is the highest, and then the exponent plus minus and bitwise not for the unary. This is the total precedence rule that is followed in Python. Okay, whenever we get a big expression or bigger expression, we have to first look up for the parenthesis or the precedence rule. Like if at all we have exponential first and later we got the value as addition. Firstly, then you have to exponent the value and then add it. Don't worry, I'll be sharing this file to you. You can just go through these things out. Operator associativity. Like operator associativity is the order in which an expression is evaluated that has multiple operator. Like in this case, you have the multiple operator, multiplication and floor division. As you can see over here, the multiplication and floor division are of same precedence. So in this case, this would be going from left to right because there is no parenthesis over here, and the multiplication and floor division have the same precedence as mentioned. So both of them are present in an expression. Always, whenever both the precedents are same, then the order comes from the left to right associativity. And in the second example, you can easily just confirm, like we have used the parenthesis. So firstly, this parenthesis would be evaluated and then the multiplication. So like this is a demo for you, like this is a quiz for you. What do you think the answer for this would be? For the first question.
I think first, sir, 8.
It would be 2 to the power 2. The value should be 4 and 4 to the power 2. So what could you just confirm again? The answer would be? The answer would be 16.
Sir, 2. Yes,
For
sir.
the first one.
2,
That's because
2 times
2 to the power
4.
2 gives the value to be 4, and 4 to the power 2 gives the value as 16. And what about the second one? Hello, Pinto. So for the second
Yes,
value,
sir, yes, sir.
what?
2.
Okay, no issue. Like for the second question, we'll be getting the output as 8. That's because the for exponential part, we have the higher precedence. So first of
2
all, 2
into
to the
2.
power 2
2
would be,
4, 4 into 2. 8.
yes,
So
that's
2 is 8,
correct.
yes.
Yeah. So that's it. Let's just look into their practical problems.
Sir. Sir, I have already, sir, too much time, sir, dot like sir, greater than and less than.
What?
Too much dot, sir. Greater than and less than
I didn't get
symbol,
you.
sir. Too much dot. Sir.
What were you asking about? Like I didn't get.
No,
This
sir.
one?
When
No. This one.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This
No,
is
sir. No, sir.
far, far greater.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, when increment, decrement operator will come.
Go on.
Yes, sir. Then, sir, too much dot, sir. Like
Okay.
greater
So
than
let me
less
just
than.
clear it. So let me just clear you this. Like you were asking regarding this, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 1 second. So we have two values to compare, like one is greater than and one is less than. Let's take an example, x to be 10. Okay, let's write over here. The value of x is 10 and 9 is value of y as 9. So you just compare which value is greater in these two.
10,
The
sir.
value
Oh, sorry, 9,
10
sir. 9, sir. 9, sir.
greater.
Oh,
I
greater,
asked
sir.
for
10,
greater.
sir. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, sir.
so greater.
10.
The open part is always used for the greater side. Okay, in this case, like we'll take the value to be 8 and this to be 11. So you can see over here, this value is the highest, and in this example, this value is the highest. So always the open side is used for the greater part, and the smaller side, this is used for the lesser. So whenever we just compare, we have to check which value is greater and which is lesser. Whenever the value is greater, like if the condition is true, since 10 is greater than 9, we'll get the output to be true. And because
Yes, sir.
here 8 is less than 11, we'll get the output as true. Okay. And if at all, instead of 8 over here, if you would have got the value as 18, then this would have been great and this condition would have been false. So we would get the output to be false. Okay,
Yes,
did you
sir.
get it? Great. Okay, once again, let's just get into the practical part. So is my so is VS Code visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great. So these are the operators that we have discussed: the arithmetic, assignment, comparison, and the logical. The arithmetic is nothing but the addition, subtraction, the mathematical operations that the compiler interprets, and the assignment assigns the value, comparison compares the value, and the logical is used for the also comparison, but it is used in the form of and, or, and not. So firstly, let's look into the example for the arithmetic. Let's initialize the value of x to be 10 and y as 5. We'll just print out the value of x minus y, so x plus y, and print the value as x minus y, x multiplied by y. So these are the three operators we have used: addition, subtraction, and multiplication. So once again, and one thing in VS Code, you should never copy, like you should never select the content and run the program. If you do, only that statement would be executed. So as you can see over here, we have got the output as 15, 5, and 50. That's because 10 plus 5 results in 15, and a 10 minus 5 results in 5, and 10 multiplied by 5 results in 50. And
50.
coming to 50, 50.
One more
So
add, sir, square, sir.
that would be the exponential part. Like that would be the power. Sorry. Like here we got the value to be 10,000. It's 1 lakh. Let's just take a smaller example like 2 to the power 5. And I'll select this because we just want only that value. Okay, 1 second. So as you can see over here, we have just got the value to be 32. That's because 2 to the power 5 results in 32. The double star, I mean 2 stars, is nothing but the exponential part, also called as the power. So next just look up for the assignment operator. Like this is one of the example for the assignment equal to, then let's just take the value of x plus equal to 3 and print x. So whenever we just compile this, we got the value to be 5. That's because the value of 2 was x was 2, and this is equal to x plus 5, x plus 3. So whenever you just look in this can also be written as this, which means the value of x is equated to x plus 3. So the initial value was 2, and then it was added to 3, and we got the output as 5. Similarly, we can also do the minus. We get the value as -1 because 2 minus 3 is -1, then multiply, which means x equal to x into 3. We got the value to be 6, and we can also multiply using the slash used for the multiplication in Python. So we got the value in decimal, as because in Python we always, in division, we get the values in decimals. So coming to the next part, we'll be going through, these are the comparison operators. Like this is used for the comparing. Let's print out the statement as print x equal to y. Okay, so if over here we got the output to be false, this is because x and y are not equal. This condition prints the value to be true if both the conditions are equal, and would print false if the values are not equal. Let's just equate them, and we have got the value as true. That's because we have initialized both the values as same, and then not equal to false, because since both the values are equal, this condition would be evaluated to false. Let's just change this, clear out the thing so that it would be visible to you a bit better. So we have got the value, the output as true, because both the values are the opposite or different. And similarly, we have greater than symbol, greater than comparison, like x is less than y. This is because since x is 2 and y is 25, so we'll get the output as true. Sorry, I've just copied the content. We'll get the value as true because x is smaller and y is greater. Left value is compared to with respect to the right. And if we just evaluate the greater than symbol, then we'll get false because value of x is smaller as compared to y. So that's it for the operators part. Do you have any doubts regarding this?
Yes, sir. No, sir. Okay, but sir, little bit sir doubt, sir.
You have doubt regarding?
Yes, sir. Logical operator, sir. Yes, sir. Below in comment section, if I will use a properly way in logical section, then please repeat again, sir.
Could you just come again?
Sir, repeat again, sir, this thing, sir.
Completely.
No, not complete, sir. Only logical operator, sir.
Okay, logical or the comparison?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, I was just asking. You were asking regarding the comparison or the logical, because logical
Yes,
comes
sir.
under and, or, and not, and comparison has the value equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than. So you need regarding the comparison operators, right?
Yes.
Okay, so nothing but I'll just explain to you again. First of all, there are these 5 conditions that we use in logical operator. One is 2 times equal to. 2 times equal to is used whenever you'd like to get the value or you would like to fetch the same values to be true. Whenever you want to check the value, whether both the values are true or not. Like you have initialized the value of x to be 2 and y to be 25. So whenever you pass this condition, you can check whether both the values are true or not. If the output comes to be true, then it means both the values are same. And if the value comes to be false, both the values are different. So over here we have got the value as false, which means both the values are not same. I mean, both the values are different. So if we just equate it, okay, so we have initialized both the values with the same, both the variables with the same value. And let's check this out once again. So as you can see over here, we have got the output to be true. This is because this condition checks for the equality between the two numbers. Since these two are equal, we have got the output to be true. And not equal to is used to check whether both the numbers are not equal or not. If both the numbers are not equal, then we'll get true. If both the numbers are equal, then we'll get false. So just one thing, whenever both the values are same, whenever both the values of the variables are same, then we have to use the two equal to symbol for checking the trueness, and not equal to check whether both the values are different. See over here, we have got the output to be false. This is because both the values are same. If we just change the value of y to be 2 and 25 as x, we have got the value as 2. This is because both the values are different. And greater than is nothing but to check which number is greater. Okay, so since 25 is greater than 2, we'll get the output to be true. Sorry, I've just copied the content. So see, you have got the output to be true. This is because the value of x is greater than 2 and the value of y is less than 2. We have got the false because y is 2 and x is 25. So this
Yes, sir, I
condition is
understand, sir.
false. Hmm?
Yes, sir, I would understand this thing, sir.
Oh, that's great. So that's it regarding the operators. Do you have any doubt regarding this? Or do you have any doubt? Okay, just a minute break. Let's just sort the things out. Okay, just have some water or note down the important points that we have discussed right now.
Sir, your voice is not audible, sir.
Oh yeah, sorry, I just forgot and I've just turned off my mic. Thank you for actually reminding me. Once again, I'll just get the PPT ready for the next topic. So like I would love, yeah, now we'll be discussing regarding the topic data types in Python. Our data types are nothing but the type of data that we are using in a variable. Like it, like in this case, in this case, type high. High is a string or a sequence of characters called as string. And whenever we use this function as type, we'll be getting the output type string, which means this code belongs to the type string. And whenever true and false belongs to Boolean function, so we will get the output as bool class. And coming to the type 5, integer, and 0.5 dot, anything after dot is used only in the float. And coming to the floats and integers in data types in Python, the integer and float works in different keys. Like int and int produces an int. Like 2 plus 2 gives you 4, whereas 2 plus 2.2 gives you 2.2. And this is the contradiction in the addition present in data types. Like whenever you would add 2 plus 2.2, you would be getting 4.2. That's integer plus floating point number gives you the value always floating point number, whereas integer plus integer gives you the value as integer. And one more thing, as we have discussed in the earlier session, the division operator always produces in floating point, that's the decimal part, and floor division as whole number, which means it produces it in the case of an integer. Coming to the data types, we have integer data type, float data type, Boolean. In Boolean, it comes under true or either true or only false. Strings are complicated data type, also called as sequence. Like, let's take an example of Python. Python. These are a sequence of characters. When combined, it is called as a string. And the type can also be changed from one type to the other, same as the casting. Like in this case, int 3.3, the data type float has been changed to the integer, and we'll be getting the value as 3. And coming to this, 3 is an integer and the data type has been changed to float using the float function. And since float prints out the decimal part, we have got the output as 3.0. When integer, this is a string. And just keep in mind saying that the string is always written inside the double quotes or the single quote. Anything written inside the double quote or single quote is called as the string. Okay. And this would throw an error. This is because 7 in integer would produce 7, but in this case string is converted into integer. But in integer 7.1 cannot be stored because integers are only whole numbers as 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. These are the integer point numbers. And float test also throws a error because float and integer should always be numbers. And since here a string has been passed in text, the float throws an error over here. So were you able to understand this? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Did you got these things? Like, did you understand?
Yes, sir, but little bit doubt, sir.
Okay, I'll just explain you again. There are 3 functions present in type conversions of data types. One is int, another is float, and the last one is string. Int converts the data type into an integer. Float converts the data into float. String converts compatible data into a string. Take this example. This is of which type? This is of float type, okay? Because this is of 3.3. Only the decimal is only used in float, and this float is converted into the integer. So 3.3 and integer, since it is converted into integer, the decimal part gets cancelled. All these things would not be executed, only the 3 would be executed. And when float function is used, 3.3, float is always in decimal. So whenever there is no number after dot, 0 has been initialized, 0 will be used. Same as this case, string 7 is converted into the integer, and the integer would produce the value to be 7. And 7.1 would throw an error, because if we would have used float 7.1, then we would not have got an error, because 7.1 can take a value as a float, but integer cannot take a value as 7.1. Okay. So did you get this? I mean, did you understand now? So that's it for today. In the next session, we'll be discussing regarding the strings, the live demo of data types and its uses, and list, tuples, data types. Everything we will be covering up in this session, in the upcoming sessions throughout the course. Okay. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you were asking something?
No, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for giving me great opportunity, sir.
What?
For giving me great opportunity, sir.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. You may just leave the meet.